What's going on YouTube? And welcome back to JoJo Speaks for another review of 90 Day Fiance the Other Way. I'm
Well,
back with my
well,
main man, Dustin. What's going on, Dustin?
I'm so glad to be back with you.
So
It's like
wonderful to
always.
see you.
So
Yes.
wonderful to see you, Jonathan. Yeah, so glad to be back. So glad to be back this week with you. So
Yes.
happy
So
to
glad
be
to be back with
next.
you.
So happy
So
to be
glad to
right
be
next to
back
my
with
best friend.
you. Yeah, so happy to be back with you as well, Dustin. So I saw a couple of clips of the of 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, the tell-all. Only saw like
Right.
just a few clips here and there. So let's talk about
Mhm.
Emily and Colby. So Emily and Colby,
Mhm.
they discussed the fact that while Emily's parents were there,
Right.
the host asked, do you think that Emily is a little bit disrespectful to her parents? And Colby definitely agreed. And it seemed
I
like her
do.
parents agreed as well, because as I was saying
Mhm.
while we were watching Happily Ever After, it seems like Emily kind of has her parents wrapped around her finger, kind of giving her anything that she wants. And the fact that Colby was able to speak up
Right.
shows that Colby still wears the pants in the relationship, even though Emily does have a fair say in their relationship, as all
Mhm.
relationships should. Both people
Right.
have equal footing. However, it sort of came off as if Colby really didn't have much power in the relationship. But if he's able to speak up
Well,
in her face,
that's how I felt, Jonathan, when they were taping this show. I felt
yeah,
like this that Kobe didn't have much of a say
right.
in the relationship, and there has to be two sides to it. There has to be two people in the marriage to make it work. So uh, that's the way it is. You have
Right.
to have two sides of people in a marriage, even to make it work.
Exactly. And so,
Uh-huh.
Emily's obviously pregnant during the taping of this. We know that she has
Right,
given birth to their new baby. So
right.
congratulations to Emily and Colby. And I have to say, I miss Colby's twist. He had like a fade. I kind of miss his twist a little bit. He's
Uh-huh.
it's not that I don't like him without the twist. It's just that I prefer to see him with the twist. But anyways,
Right.
so on to Angela and Michael. So
Uh-huh.
Angela had her private investigator come. And he asked Michael about certain people, a certain woman that he knew. He said he was just friends with her. Said that he had 3 Instagram accounts, which it is possible that there could be people making fake accounts of Michael. I mean, Michael is a very
Possibly, yeah.
popular person on reality
Uh-huh.
TV. So I would choose to believe him when he says all he has in social media is one Facebook account. Um,
Uh-huh.
because if it's not an official account, then you really can't say that it's Michael's. But the
Right.
host asked, and what's the host name again, Dustin?
Sean Robertson.
Yes, yes, Sean
Sean
Robinson. So
Robertson. That's her name. Yep. Uh-huh.
she asked the PI if there's any evidence that would lead him to believe that Michael has been cheating on her. And his
Right.
answer was no. And what did Angela do? She went off the handle and said, he has the ability
Uh-huh.
to make you believe hhim and da 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 and blah 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 blah. And then she said that the
Right.
same woman that Michael cheated on her with tried to get with Gino. And if you saw
Right.
Gino's reaction, Gino's was like, "What? Like, leave me out of it.
Yeah,
My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it."
I seen the reaction. Uh-huh.
Right. It was Angela is just a different
Right.
type of person, different type of
Uh-huh.
reality star. She's her own
Right.
brand of reality, a
I don't
brand
know
that
if you
I'm
caught
not
this or not.
interested.
I don't know if you
Right.
caught this or not. Hmm I don't know if you
Yeah.
caught this or not last night, Jonathan. Well, you probably didn't watch it last night, but Colby and Emily found another house. They revealed that in the tell-all last night that they moved out. So they officially moved out of the house, and they're not
All
like
right.
they're not living with the parents anymore.
That's awesome. I'm so happy that Emily and Colby have found some type of independence from Emily's parents, because they were
Me
really
too.
feeling like, these two married people need to
Need
move
to
on
get
out
out of
of our
here.
house, need to get up out of our basement so that we can have our alone, together time when we're supposed to be retired and enjoying our time together as a married couple. So I'm so happy to
Right.
hear that. Thank you so much for letting me
You're
know
welcome.
that. But
You're welcome.
what did you think of Angela's reaction to the fact that the PI said that there was no evidence of cheating and she
Well,
decided to go off the handle anyways?
I had a feeling that there wasn't going to be no evidence. Um, I think Angela had this all planned out. Um, I think that she knew that there wasn't going to be anything found on Michael. And I'm with you, Jonathan. I'm with Michael. I got Michael's. I'm on Michael's side with all of this because Michael is very. To me, he's very trustworthy. To me, anyway. And
Agreed.
I don't think that uh, he should have a happy marital life. But I'm glad that he's no longer with Angela because he was making Angela or Angela was making Michael miserable, and
Exactly.
it was just hard to see. It was hard to watch, and
Oh, agreed.
it was really hard to watch for me. And because you know how I am, Jonathan, I get I'm a very emotional person anyway.
Yeah.
So my sister makes me very emotional. So when I see somebody else uh, emotional because they're the way they are, that it makes me more emotional than myself. But then that's just I'm so glad that he's no longer with Angela
Me
because he don't
too.
deserve that stuff. And
Yeah.
whoever whoever says Michael needs to go back to wherever he came from, you can hear it here. He needs to stay in the United States of America.
I would love to see Michael continue to thrive and do his thing. I'm not following him on TikTok, but through our reviews, I've been able to see his TikTok and see him on
Well,
Instagram. And
he actually started the GoFundMe page because Angela was trying to get him out of the United States. So yeah,
wow, well, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
she filed an annulment to try to get him out of the United States. So everybody wants to help Michael to try to stay in the United States. You can find the GoFundMe page.
Awesome,
Mm.
awesome. So Michael knows how to use his resources and use them well. Saw Bianca in the comments. Hey Bianca, thank you so much for
Bye.
being here. So that's pretty much the most that I got out of the tell-all. Again, I'll keep searching for ways for me to be able to actually watch it. I heard it's a 5-part series, which is
It's a 5-part series.
crazy.
Next week is the final. We got 2 more episodes. We got 2 more episodes of the thing left. We got next week, and we got the week after next. So we're gonna have a lot of tell-all coverage. Yeah,
Right.
and
And has there been any beef going on while they're in the house? Like, has there been any
yeah,
arguments going on?
there's been a lot of beef between Alexi and Lauren and Angela. So
Okay.
you have missed out of a lot of hot tea, Jonathan,
Yes, I have.
because you you would be jumping out of that chair. Uh, you would be jumping out of that chair because there's a lot of stuff going on in that house, and I know
Because
you would love to. I know you would love to be able to watch it.
because I know Lauren is very even keeled. She's very calm. She doesn't, it's kind of hard to probably get her out of her character. But if anybody can do that, is going
Right,
to be Angela. So thank you so
right.
much for being in the chat. Um, Q and DJ, thank you so much for being here as well. So let's get into this particular episode. Hey, Lady Virgo, let's get
Sure.
into this particular episode of 90 Day Fiance the Other Way. Let's start with James and Natalia. So James and
Mm,
Natalia have made the decision to have the conversation with Natalia's parents concerning
right.
him moving in. And
Mm,
they were making banana chips. Now, I'm
mm,
assuming, hey, Robin, thank you so much for being here. So I'm assuming
sure.
banana chips are those chips that are actual banana chips, but they
Yeah,
didn't look like the banana
yeah.
chips that I'm used to.
Yeah. They're actual banana chips, but they're not the banana chips that I'm used to eating,
Right.
Jonathan. They're not the ones that you and I are used to having and cavorting on because I wouldn't eat them things. Not I would eat the regular stuff that I have, but I wouldn't
Right.
eat them. No, thank you.
But James has the feeling that working with the banana chips with Natalia's parents are not going to be able to generate the type of income that they need to not only take care of their bills back in America, but to also take care of their bills in Indonesia, where they are currently staying.
Right.
And
And I
so
have to agree with that, because I don't think that business would have enough oops, to have all their bills paid,
right,
let alone you gotta, because you gotta have money to take care of yourself, Jonathan,
right,
before you pay your bills. But you gotta have money to pay your bills, but you also gotta have money to take care of yourself. And then
exactly.
the way they're doing things on the other way this season so far, I don't see what they're doing, and it's not going to bring a lot of money to what they're trying to do. Now, I wouldn't be a bit surprised, Jonathan, if we don't see some of these couples on the other way, if we don't see a move to the 90-day fiance. Because the reason why I say that is because I think they're going to have to move to, some of them are going to have to move to United States of America in order to make a living that they want to have, because I don't think they're going to be able to make the kind of money that they want to make, not in this other country.
Exactly. Whereas the money in America is has more value to it than the money in many places, many other places out here
Yeah.
in the
Hi,
world.
Robin.
Hey, Robin, what's going on? And so they're getting into this conversation with her parents about
Hey.
them saying,
Uh-huh.
and Robin says, "Why is TLC allowed to air Angela's abuse of Michael?" I don't know. It should not be allowed.
They
I
should be they should be a lawsuiter for that, Robin. I'm just about I'm tired of Angela, tired of
okay,
her antics, and I don't want to see her back next season. Uh,
right.
on Happily Ever After, I don't want to see her on the regular 90 Day Fiance. I imagine Jonathan don't want to see her back either,
You know
because
I don't, Dustin, and I have the smallest inkling that she's going to find another man and she's going to be on
right.
90 Day Fiance again. I just see it coming. I just really see it coming. She's going to come back to 90 Day Fiance, and for some
Well,
reason, like
let me
I
tell you.
don't.
Let me tell you something, Jonathan. I
Mhm.
was told I was told the TLC pays her the most money on that show.
What? That doesn't surprise me
Angela
though.
Angela is one of the highest paid cast members on TLC.
And the only reason why is because she's the most polarizing character on
Well,
that show.
I think the reason why she's been paid so high, Jonathan, is because she's been there the longest.
That makes sense as well.
They go off of who they've been the longest. But you're always replaceable. You know,
Exactly.
everybody is always replaceable, Jonathan. And she don't need to be on the show anymore because she's not
No,
with Michael.
no, she does not. She has no business being on that show anymore, and we don't want to see her. And it would seem to me as though the general public has the same consensus as we do, and
Right.
yet they still find ways to put her back on the show. Like I don't, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. If your
Yeah.
audience does not like seeing her, why do you keep putting her on camera? That don't make
Because
no sense to me.
they have enough people that are tired of Angela, but they also have people that still watch Angela.
That's
Hmm.
true. That's true. Some people it's like a car wreck, something that you're not supposed to look at while you're driving by. You're supposed to keep it the same
Right.
speed limit, but everybody's slowing down just to watch Angela just do her Angela thing, child. But
Not me.
anyways, oh, exactly. Thank you.
Not me.
Add me in with that too, Dustin. But back to
Uh-huh.
James and Natalia. So they're having this
Right.
conversation with Natalia's parents. She's translating for
Right.
them because they don't speak any English. And he's saying that, we're moving here to Indonesia, and her parents seem very happy about that.
Right.
However, he's saying that, they have loans, they owe money, and Natalia's father saying, don't take out any more loans, don't do that. And then James turns the conversation to Natalia to tell her to be more involved in the conversation and having her to speak up. And
Right.
it's interesting to me that Natalia wanted so badly to have this conversation, but when he
Well,
tells
because
her,
I think she wanted to. I think she wanted to have the conversation, Jonathan.
mhm,
And the reason why I say this, I think she wanted to have it done and over with, that way she can get it off of her chest and let her parents know what their future plans are. Just like
agreed.
I tell you what my future plans are. So uh, I don't. I just always tell, I'm always honest with you, as you know,
Yeah.
and it's just like I don't hide nothing from. So I don't think she likes to hide anything, but he didn't want her to tell anything.
Right. But the thing is, after James asked Natalia to be more involved in the conversation and not just translate what he's saying, but say what she has to say about the matter, she
Right?
goes into a fit. She starts to
She
cry. She
goes in.
starts to
She
say
go.
that,
She goes
go,
into a. She goes into a. She goes into a breakdown.
she
I
does.
call it. I call them a mental a breakdown, a terrible breakdown on camera
That's
because
what it looked like. That's what it looked like
she ended up on the floor.
on the floor.
On the
And
floor.
James is so confused as to why this is happening. And this is my confusion as well, Dustin. You wanted to have this
Uh,
conversation so badly, Natalia, but when it comes to actually having the conversation, you can't
uh,
handle it. And you go into a complete breakdown. She was crying uncontrollably, y'all, for those of y'all who did not see this. And
right.
it made no sense to me whatsoever. And it's like,
Nope.
why are you having this reaction when your parents are okay with James moving to Indonesia and they're
Right.
okay with them working for him working for them? And it's like,
Right.
but she does say that, she feels like she's a burden and she doesn't want to burden her parents or anything of that nature, which I understand. But this is actually the situation that you're in, so you just have to
Mm-hmm.
take it as you can. If you don't have any other options, and this is really your only option right now, then go for it. But
Right.
I wish that James would have consoled her a little more because he was just standing there looking at her on
I
the
wish they would.
ground while
I
her
wish I wish he would have got up and. I wish he would have got up and hugged her, Jonathan, because
right.
the level of comfort, and I have said this before, the level of comfort the level of comfort that people get, and the level of comfort that I get from Jonathan,
Mm-hmm.
and so I understand about people the level of comfort people give people,
Right.
and that's the reason why when I get to like that, I don't go anywhere else but to Jonathan because it's the one I trust very much, and that's how I am, So I can imagine
Yeah.
how he feels.
Right. And he said, he feels like he's all alone, but your wife is literally on the floor right there. If you just reach out and touch her, reach out and hug her, reach out and tell her everything's going to be okay. We have a great support system. I'm here. Your parents are here.
Mm,
Everything will be fine. But he was just
right.
standing there, not really with his arms crossed, but he might as well have had his arms crossed. He was just standing there looking at her like he didn't know what
He
to
should have
do.
he should have been sitting here like this because
Right.
his arms should have
So
been like this.
so it's I'm starting not to like James as much as I did initially when they first got together. So hopefully
Mm-hmm.
James will step up in some type of manly way in the future, and
Mm-hmm.
be there to really support his wife because that's what
Right.
she needs. She needs his support and she needs to know that he's there for her and will pick
Right.
her up whenever she falls. But that is not
Mm-hmm.
definitely not the case right now. So let's move on
Okay.
to
Yeah.
Dempsey and Statler. So Dempsey and
Mm-hmm.
Statler, they finally have their bus, and it looks actually
Okay.
pretty good. It looks like it's
Yeah.
like one of the RVs that we have here in America. It looks like they'll be able
Mm-hmm.
to live in it. Of course, it will have to be nice for if they're going to be living in there. But
Mm-hmm.
Statler seems to have a better attitude. She seems to be encouraged when she sees the bus. She says that she was a little off-putted. She felt a little bit off-putted by the thought of them just staying in a bus, but once she saw the bus,
Right.
she got a lot more confident in the fact that they'll be able to do this together.
Right.
And Dempsey doesn't seem nearly as bad as Statly's friends were trying to make her out to be. She hasn't done
Mm-hmm.
anything so far that I've seen that makes her look like she's using Statly, or kind of
Mm-hmm.
overstepping her bounds and what she wants to do. She's not over she's not overcomplicating things. She's
Oh
not
yeah.
being problematic or anything of that nature. What did you
No.
think of them finally getting into the bus and seeming to be on
Yeah.
happier terms? Did that look good for you?
Well, they're getting better. I will
Yes.
give them that. They are getting better. But I think that my question is, when they're sleeping in this, when they're in this bus, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. that bus is going to get very, very tight.
Absolutely.
I can't.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be in a bus for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And
Where they
she
go to
literally
sleep?
and Stanley literally said, "This is what I have to look forward to for the rest of my life." Like
Right.
that's depressing to me. If I'm going to live in a bus for the rest of no, I'm sorry. I'm not signing
I
up for
can't.
that.
Nope. I can't do
I,
it, Jonathan. I can't
Yeah,
do it. Nope.
I wouldn't be able to do it either. Just to be in that confined space because it's not the biggest bus, but I guess what size of a bus do you need if it's just two people? But at the same time,
Right.
if these are your living quarters, you want a little bit of room, a little bit of space. And then Dempsey said, we can get a projector and we can have this. Like, do y'all have the money to install the projector in your bus? Because I don't know
No.
that y'all have the funds to make that
They don't.
happen,
They
y'all.
don't. They don't. And
But
they just don't have. They don't have the funds, Jonathan.
right, but
They're getting paid from the TV show.
right,
But they don't have. As far as I know, they don't have any more funds from uh, unless they have another job. But I don't think they do. I think I'm only getting paid from the TV show. Uh, Now I don't know how much TLC pays them.
right.
And that's out of my pay grade.
Hmm.
But I don't think that they pay them very much per episode. So
Probably just a couple thousand per episode.
yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
yeah. That's
But
what I'm thinking too, Jonathan. But
but
I don't think that I don't really think that I don't see it. I don't see it lasting. Now I see them lasting, but I don't see them living in the bus lasting. Because like I said, it's going to get very tight, very very soon. It's not going to be a forever thing.
right, very quickly. So it'll be interesting to see what type of issues will come up in their
Right.
relationship because they seem to be on a good foot for the most part now. I'm not seeing any issues of trust or any issues of
Yeah.
infidelity or anything of that nature. So at least they're good on that end. So we'll see
Mm-hmm.
more on Statly and Dempsey in the upcoming episodes. Let's move on to
Yeah.
I can't believe this is her name, Miss Corona. Corona. Her name is Corona. Corona.
Yeah.
Corona, y'all.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Corona and Engie or Engie.
Is she the one that has the two kids and she's moving to? Yeah, she thinks she's got two kids and she's moving across the country.
No,
Oh,
that is
somebody else.
that is Joni.
Okay. Okay.
Joni from New York. Joni from New York.
Okay.
Yeah. Corona and Engie. Corona is the black girl with the locks. She moved to Iceland to be with
Oh
Engie.
yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I know who you're talking about
Yeah.
now.
So
Yeah.
Corona takes Engie, first of all, he wakes her up. First of all, she's sleeping in the bed. Her butt is all out, y'all. I mean, they're married, so I guess it really doesn't matter what she wears to bed.
All right.
But he kind of does this tradition of waking her up and hitting her bottom with a fan or something of that nature. He
Yeah.
seems to be a jokester, so I like him at least in that sense. But
Mm-hmm.
she takes him out to eat. And she says, I've been kind of babying you, or I can't remember the exact terminology that she used. But
She
she
said.
was
She said you're used to me being in a vacation mood.
right.
You're not used to me being in work mode, but you're used to seeing me in vacation mode. But now since I'm living here, you're gonna be seeing a different side of me, and you're gonna be seeing a work side of me. You're just not gonna be seeing the vacation mode that you're used to seeing all the time.
And NG seems a little worried. He seems
Right.
concerned about this turn of events because she's saying, I've been really nice to you up till now. You know what I'm saying? And I've been kind of, babying you and being very cordial and whatnot. But
Right.
if you piss me off, I'm gonna go off. And he said, well, if you get mad, I'll just try to make you laugh. And she says, yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
If you make somebody mad and you try to make them laugh, that's only going to increase their anger
That's only gonna make it
towards you.
worse.
Exactly. So she tells him straight up, you know what I'm saying? I got a side to me that's, very round, 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 round. You ain't seen that yet. And it's like, I don't believe that.
But we're gonna see the different. We're gonna see the different side Jonathan, because I seen the preview for the next episode, and things went down to the next level with some of these couples, and we're gonna start seeing these people turn around, and we're gonna start seeing these people get get have a lot of have a lot of have a lot of issues coming up in these next couple episodes.
Right. So I'm nervous, Dustin, to see Corona get into her
Mm-hmm.
mean bag and go off on NG, because I'll just be feeling so bad for NG, because when it comes to interracial dating, there's kind of a
Right.
cultural thing where those of us who are African American, we seem to be a little more serious at times, whereas when we try to get serious with those of our white counterparts, they seem to not be able to be on the same wavelength. It's just a difference of
I see
culture.
what
It's
you.
not that one
Mm-hmm.
is better than the other. It's just that there's a lack of understanding between the two. And so we
Yeah,
have to continue to communicate, because if they don't
I see
communicate,
what. Mm-hmm.
then NG will end up leaving, and Corona will be in Iceland with nothing to her name. So I'm nervous because I don't know how NG is
Can
going
I
to
can
react
I
to
can I
this.
can I ask you a question, Jonathan?
Go ahead, Dustin.
Do you think they're going to stay there in Iceland, or do you think that she's going to make a move to the United States?
I was shocked that Corona moved to Iceland to begin with. So I have a feeling that NG's going to do something, or something's going to happen with NG that's going to make her feel like she can't be there anymore. I don't have high hopes for this couple, Dustin. I
I
really
don't either.
don't,
I
because
don't.
I mean, they seem like good friends, you know what I'm saying? But I
Right.
don't see actual chemistry, like romantic chemistry between the two.
But
I
yeah, I don't
don't.
see the. I don't see the love. I
Exactly.
don't
I,
see.
I I
Yeah.
don't see the love either, and so it'll be interesting to see if that love sort of kind of develops,
Right.
and that will be a great thing to see. But they've
Mm-hmm.
been together for a little while now, so if it's not there yet, I'm
Sure.
assuming we're probably not going to see it anytime in the future.
Right.
But
I don't see. I
mm,
don't see it lasting, Jonathan. I really
I,
don't. That's
I
why.
don't
That's
see it.
why I. That's why
I,
I asked you. I said. I asked you if you said. You think about her going back to the United States without him or with him,
I,
because
I
I
don't
don't
see.
see.
I don't see Corona making Iceland her permanent home. I really,
No.
I really don't. And then on the other end, I'm not sure how she's going to be able to commingle with his friend group, because they're
Right.
probably a lot like NG, and Corona is nothing like NG.
Yeah.
So that could be an issue, but we'll see what happens in
Mm-hmm.
the future with them. I'm at least keeping my fingers crossed for them, because I love
I'll just
love,
keep
but
my. I'll keep my fingers crossed, my hands, and keep praying for him. But I don't. I don't see it lasting, Jonathan. No, I
me
don't really
Me
don't.
either. I really don't.
No.
So let's move on to our last couple, a newer couple to this particular series,
All
Sean
right.
and Joanne. So Joanne
Mm-hmm.
is from New York. She is, I'm assuming she's Italian of some sort.
Right.
And she has been married, y'all, married to
For
Sean.
2 years.
Sean
For
is from
yeah.
Ireland, and he says
Yeah.
he actually doesn't drink, which is crazy, because when you think Irish people, you think it's St. Patrick's Day, it's time to drink and have a beer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
let me tell y'all, Sean is so fine. He is
I seen the
so
pictures. Yeah. I seen the pictures.
fine. And so
I knew you were gonna. I
when I
knew you
see
were gonna.
Joanne, Dustin, I get a little jealous, because I'm like, why? Because I mean, in his confessional, Sean does say that he enjoys Italian milfs, which is a mother he'd
Right.
like to f. So I
Right.
understand why he picked Joanne, but I'm like, ooh, I don't like saying this, but I'll just put it out there because it's what was in my mind. I feel like he's too fine for her. I just feel
Yeah.
like he
I think
is
that
too fine for her.
and I have to agree with you on that one, Jonathan. Um, I think that he can find somebody else better
Okay.
than her. I think he can
Yes.
find some. I think that he can find somebody else way better than she is.
Yes. And that's no shade on Joanne, because Joanne is a beautiful 40-year-old looking woman. She looks
Right.
good for her age. She has two kids who seem to
Right.
be of teenage age. And they're, of course, they are very supportive of her in her endeavors of going to Ireland to see this man. She's going to take her kids over to Ireland to meet him. And she actually said, if they don't approve of me moving over to Ireland, then I'm not going to do it. So it's great that she's putting her children first.
That's another thing that I was going to ask you about, Jonathan. What do you think about that? Them her trying to move her kids over there to Ireland, because that ain't gonna work out either.
Yeah, here's my thing. When you get into these types of relationships and you say you're going to move to a completely different continent for love, I mean, granted, they have been married for 2 years. Not sure exactly how much time they've actually spent together in person.
Not very long.
That's what it seems like, at least, Dustin. But when you get your kids involved, you know, it would. I would always encourage people to make sure that your relationship is solid, make sure that relationship is real before you introduce your children to your significant other. So it seems like she's done that part already. However, I'm just going to hope. All I can do is hope and pray that her kids are susceptible. Sean seems to be like a cool guy, so I'm sure they're going to love Sean. I think he has a great personality. He does kickboxing, and that's really sexy to watch. And you know, oh goodness, Sean is just giving me the feels, y'all. Just like Shekinah's man. I can't remember what his name is.
Surfer. Surfer.
Yes. Oh, we got the fine men's on 90 Day Fiance, honey. But
then we also had one on. We also had him one on the regular 90 Day Fiance, Igor, because he was a very fine man too.
Yes, Nikki did not deserve Igor whatsoever, but I'm glad that I'm assuming that they're not together anymore. And I hope that Igor has found a woman that he can fall in love with.
Makes him happy.
And I hope Nikki finds a man who is trans attractive and can fall in love with her as well. But the thing about Joanne is she hasn't told her mother that she's married yet. And I don't think she's told the kids either, has she?
No, she hasn't. She hasn't told any of them.
And what do you think of the fact that she's decided not to tell anyone that she's married yet?
Well, you know how I feel about seekers, Jonathan. I don't feel like anybody that has kids, and now it might have been different if she didn't have any kids in the first place. But why would you sit there and doesn't tell your kids that you are married to somebody else? You're sitting there telling them, oh, it's her boyfriend or her fiance. Right. Oh, it's her fiance, but it's not your fiance when you're married to him already for 2 years.
Right. And Robin said they're already married. Yes, they are already married, Robin, for 2 years, been married for 2 years. And she hasn't told any of her family. And judging from the previews, it doesn't look like Mama's going to take that too well. But
I've seen the previews. Yeah, I've seen the preview.
Right. But Sean has a beautiful personality. He's a very, very attractive man, and I will definitely love seeing him on this show. I'm not sure if I'm going to be. I'm not going to go there. I'm just not going to go there. Anyway,
you can just say it. You just say it, John. Just say it. Just say it, man. Just say it.
I don't know how I'm going to deal with seeing Joanne and Sean together. I don't know if I'll be able to. I'll have to keep my jealousy to a minimum. I'll have to keep my jealousy to a bare minimum, because Sean is a fine man, and it just kills me to see fine men with partners that I feel don't deserve them. But okay, that's just my opinion. They find love whatever way they find love. I don't know them from a can of paint, so they make the decisions, whatever decisions they want to make, and that's their business. It's just that you put yourself on TV, so therefore I'm going to be giving my opinion on your relationship. So there's that. But yeah, that's all we have for this particular episode. Thank you so much, Dustin, for joining me. Yes. So we will be back next week, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. But until then, we'll say bye for now. You guys have a great week, and stay safe out there. Bye, you guys.
Stay safe. Yeah. Love you, Jonathan.